Well, there's more Will It Runs on YouTube now than you can shake a stick at, but I'm going to add one to it. So this is a 69 Dart that you've hopefully been following along with if you're new to the channel. This is a 69 Dodge Dart sedan with a V8, 273 V8 engine in it that I bought, I don't know, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago now. It's been a while. And it was pretty much abandoned under somebody's carport. Started out abandoned in their barn, I think, and then wound up in the carport, and I snagged it for pretty cheap. And in the last few months, I've repaired the rear end of it. It was in a collision, not the first one, but I put a quarter panel chunk of a quarter panel on it and just did a real cheap homebrew job on it. But it's on, and the car is going to be drivable again. Any luck? And went through and just worked on different things. I've been working on the interior, coming along with that pretty good, and put the drive shaft in and all that. So did the brakes. But anyway, I thought we would just go ahead and see if this thing will run again. It's not run in probably, last time I had this running was a video I did to see if the transmission would operate, which it did at that time. So that's been probably at least 3 years. So something along those ranges. So anyway, this thing had, when I bought it, it had a lot of leaks. It had some blown out freeze plugs, rotted out freeze plugs. And one of them, of course, was the one that you have to take the transmission off the engine to get to, one of those two back there. So as greasy as the engine was and as unknown as it was, I thought, well, the best thing to do is just pull the engine out and just go through it and seal it up. And I did that, put rear main seal, gaskets, oil pan gasket, valve cover gaskets, water pump, timing chain cover gasket. I had to repair the timing chain cover and all that stuff, and just spruced it up with a spray bomb paint job on it and put belts on it and all that, so hoses. And that's kind of where I left it. So it should be ready to run. The carburetor's been rebuilt way back, so I did that. So anyway, that's what we will do. I have to put oil in it, transmission fluid, and we'll see if the engine is going to run. If the engine is going to run, then I'll go ahead and put coolant and put gas in the gas tank. The fuel system's all together. And so, So anyway, it should be capable of running if I did my job correctly on the timing chain and putting the distributor back in. So this thing, when I started it the first time after I got it home from where I bought it from, it was stuck. The engine was seized up. It was not seized up very badly. You know, usually there's three possibilities when it comes to engines that have been sitting for a long time. If you watch Mortsky Repair and these other guys, No Nonsense and all that do this stuff, and What the Rust and all those folks, you know, you have about three possibilities when they've been sitting this long. They're not stuck, or they're lightly stuck, so they'll just, you know, you soak them a little bit with some kind of oil, solvent, whatever, and they break free, or they're really stuck and they're not ever going to run. So not without, you know, overhauling the thing, which I've never seen anybody do yet that I recall. But this one fell into the middle category. It was stuck, but it wasn't stuck too bad. So I let it sit with acetone and transmission fluid in it, and it broke free. And it was a little bit difficult to start the first time. That video was up here on my channel. If you go on back, it's just 69 Dart for Will It Run or First Start or something like that. So we finally got started. I think the compression was a little bit low on it, so did that, and it smoked and it made noise. The lifters made a lot of noise and stuff. So, and this engine does not have mechanical lifters. Even though it's the last year for a 273, they had changed them to match the 318, so it's got hydraulic lifters, and it did quiet down. But the thing is, at that time, it hardly had any exhaust on it, so it was really loud, and now it doesn't have any exhaust on it except for just a couple spouts off the manifold, so it's going to be loud, really going to be loud for what it is. So, but it did seem to run good. So anyway, with enough talking here, I'm going to go ahead and start filling this thing up with fluids and prime the carburetor and put a battery on it. We're just going to see what happens. Okay, I'm going to spin this thing over without putting any gas in it just to see if I can get some oil pressure built up. I think this battery should be good. Hope it is. After I get the cables to fit. Boy, that compression sounds low. That compression sounds low. Oh. Yeah, it does. The oil light has not went off yet. Okay, so I filled the carburetor up, and I got a pump shot, and I got a wet towel there just in case I got to smother it, and I got the fire extinguisher number 1 right off the camera, fire extinguisher number 2 right over there. Okay, all we do is get in there and turn the key. I don't have a loser switch, and plus I don't really like being out here anyway with it. What if it gets me? So anyway, this is real quick. This is what it did last time. It sounded like the compression was low, and it was a fight. I had to crank and crank and crank and crank on it. So we'll see. Well, yep. This is like what the Rust video. The air cable's disconnected. Spark. That sounds like no spark. Okay. All right, let me check into that. Okay, well, as I expected, no spark. I like this spark checker I got. I don't know where I got that from. I inherited it from somewhere. But no spark, so I'm just poking around in here, and first thing, we'll make sure that the points are open and closing. They are. And then so we can see if I had voltage at the coil. Well, it would help if you attach the wire to the coil. So I attached a wire down there, there. But that's not the wire, that's the condenser. So, all right, try this again. Okay, let's try to engage this slingshot again, shall we? Battery on it. Little help here. Okay, I filled up the carburetor more. So let's see if it'll go. Yeah, I knew you were going to try to get me. I knew you were going to do it. Yeah. All right, good deal. Let's do that again. Okay, more gas. Carburetor ran dry again. So what thing uses a lot of gas? I ought to have flooded it. I didn't. That's what I wanted to hear. Well, that thing sounds good. And I don't mean it sounds YouTube good, like there's a couple cylinders missing and something's clacking. I mean, it sounds good. It's running on all 8 cylinders and the oil light went off, so we got oil pressure. So it is Sunday, and I don't do a whole lot on Sunday, so I think I'm just going to cut this one off here and post this up for you all, and hope you get a little enjoyment out of it. And I got to go out of town for work, as always, for a couple days. And when you get back, I'm just going to put the fuel system is all together. So all I got to do is put some gas in it, in the tank, and find all the leaks and correct those. And then we'll put some water in it when we run this thing longer. So we'll do that on the next one. I'll see you then. Thanks for coming by, and we'll see you next installment on this thing.